I'm going to talk about hydrogen. It is a atomic particle in the table of contents. It is the first element in the table of contents. If you know periodic table, you'll find it's the very first one on the top. It doesn't have a color. You can't see it. It's in the air, everywhere in the air. Hydrogen can be found everywhere. It's a very, very, very common particle, and it is very important for your life and to live. And you can find hydrogen in your body. Actually, 2/3 of your body is made up of hydrogen, and that's because it's found in water everywhere. Hydrogen has one protein attached to it, but that's it. No neutrons, protons, just, oh, maybe it's just one proton, excuse me, not a protein, just a proton attached to it. It is an atom with one proton. It's important to know the chemistry behind hydrogen and how particles work together. Hydrogen can have only one, it can't be by itself, but it can only have up to 8. Can't have any more than that, otherwise it becomes a different compound. If you look at the periodic table of elements, you'll notice if you follow down from hydrogen, if you look down on the next line, there's another compound that can be produced from hydrogen, and if you keep going down, it goes all the way down to 8 from the combinations of compounds that you can make with hydrogen. They're all related to each other. So do you know water, H2O, how to make that compound? It's from the water molecule is formed from 2 hydrogens with 1 oxygen particle. So naturally, oxygen has 6 electrons, and in order to make a compound of water, it forms with 2 hydrogen, which becomes 8 electrons, and that's how you get H2O, or water. Hydrogen has so many different uses. It's pretty amazing what it can do. You know, it can form water. It's good for our bodies. It also can be used for fun things. It can be help with fire, to start a fire. It's very combustible. Or it can be used, for example, at a party, if, you know, for balloons using helium. It can help to make things, you know, lighter. It's good for, it's in the air. We breathe it. Excuse me, that's not true. Your car exhaust produces a form of hydrogen, can go into the air or into the ground, be absorbed into the ground. I'm not quite sure about that one. Okay, so what he was explaining earlier was about using hydrogen with your car. And for example, when you fill up your car, you've got that reader that says that your fuel tank is low. So when you fill up your car, you have a hydrogen monitor within your car that lets your gas tank know that your car is full. So it converts, it's a reader that's able to help your car to start. So your car is able to start from the hydrogen ignition by a reaction that occurs. Remember how I was talking about that there's one uh, proton within hydrogen, and if it has a negative or a charge added to the hydrogen, then it kind of ignites, and that's what is needed in order to start your engine, is that initial ignite. Well, that's why it's called an ignition. Pretty fascinating what a car can do within the machine, the engine. So the hydrogen helps to ignite to start the car, and then as the machine is running, it helps to kind of process out the bad stuff, and that's how the water is a filter that takes all of the waste and the particles and produces it in the exhaust. hydrogen is an extremely important particle in our daily lives. It's very important for our life. And it came about as early, or was recognized as early in the 1900s. And tell you a story about something that awful that happened with when hydrogen was ignited with something. I don't recall it. Oh. Okay, so the story was that there was a blimp that went up, I want to say in the 1900s, in the early to mid 1900s, and it was filled with hydrogen, and um, I guess it got too hot and it ended up exploding because hydrogen is very combustible. It was awesome. So, hydrogen can really rock your world. It's important to know. Thank you.